My name's Lorna Illingsworth. I'm a mortgage advisor for Protection Investment Southampton. Today we're going to talk about equity release. Equity release is just where you take out the equity from the property you own. There are two types of equity release: lifetime mortgages, aimed at those over 55, and home reversion schemes aimed at those over 65. There's also another product called retirement interest only mortgage, often abbreviated to RIO. This is aimed at those over 50. But if you're under 50 and want to release equity from your home, a normal remortgage or second charge is likely more suitable. Home equity is effectively the value left over after all charges are deducted from your home's full market value. For example, if your home is worth $400,000 and you have a mortgage of $150,000, the equity you have is $250,000. Your equity can go up and down in your lifetime, either through house price rises and falls, or if you increase the charge against your house. Lifetime mortgages aimed at those over 55 are the most popular type of equity release plan. Unlike a conventional mortgage with a fixed term, they run for the rest of your life. You'll own the property in full and are free to live there until you die or move into long-term care. Typically, you will make no repayments and the interest will roll up and increase over time. But some lifetime mortgages will require you to make regular interest repayments. The mortgage will be repaid on your death or when you enter long-term care. These are popular for those whose house has increased in value. It may also be popular for those wanting to reduce their inheritance tax liability. However, there can be high costs involved and there is a risk of negative equity, meaning that your loved ones may owe money to the lender when you pass away. Aimed at those over 65, a home reversion scheme isn't a mortgage. Instead, it's where you sell all or some of your equity in your property to an investor in return for cash in retirement. This is typically sold to the investor at a discounted price. The investor will own that proportion in your home until you die or go into long-term care. You do not pay interest on the money you receive from a home reversion scheme because you've sold all or part of your home in return for either a lump sum or monthly income. Again, this is aimed at those wanting to enjoy the equity in their home. If you decide to buy back the share though, it will cost you, as you'll pay the current full market value, not the discounted rate that you sold it for. A retirement interest-only mortgage is similar to a lifetime equity mortgage in that you don't repay the mortgage until you die or enter long-term care. However, with a retirement interest-only mortgage, you make monthly interest payments to stop the interest rolling up. Unlike equity release, your affordability is assessed to ensure that you can meet these monthly interest payments. A retirement interest-only mortgage is cheaper than a repayment mortgage, but will still require you to prove that you have enough income to pay the mortgage. A lifetime mortgage and a retirement interest-only mortgage may seem to be very similar, but there are some big differences that may affect which one is right for you. A lifetime mortgage doesn't require you to pass affordability. Instead, the lender will look at your age, value of the home, and will lend an amount that will leave sufficient equity to repay the interest built up whilst you're alive. A lifetime mortgage will typically have higher interest rates as it's fixed for the whole loan. But if the interest rolls up, you'll end up paying interest on interest on interest. Whereas a RIO mortgage generally has lower interest rates, and you'll pay off the interest each month, so the interest won't roll up. Because of this, a RIO mortgage requires you to prove that you can pay off the interest and pass an affordability assessment. So depending on how much equity you want to release, you may not have sufficient income to get the amount you want. Age also plays a role. Lifetime mortgages are for those over 55, whereas a RIO mortgage is for people aged over 50. If you're considering releasing equity from your house, you should speak to a specialist equity release broker to give you advice and explain your options. You can use equity release for whatever you wish. The most common reasons people release equity from their home is to make home improvements, boost their retirement income, invest in other property, or spend on memory-making holidays or giving to their family. As equity release is paid back on your death, or if you go into care, it will mean that the house is either sold to repay back the plan, or it can be repaid through other means if the beneficiaries wish to keep the property. Equity release will reduce the value of your estate and could therefore reduce the amount your beneficiaries receive, but also reduce any inheritance tax that may be due. It is possible to move home after you've taken out equity release. Most products will allow you to port your borrowing from one property to another, but this will be dependent on the type of property and value. If you're interested in an equity release, call us on 02380 668407 or visit our website at pilsouthampton.co.uk.